Hello everyone, today we will be reviewing Disney Infinity 2.0, the Marvel Starter Pack Edition. We will also discuss the other versions of the game. The Marvel Starter Pack brings Iron Man, Thor, and Black Widow figures for you to play in the playset of Avengers, which is also included in the starter pack. The Avengers playset story is about defeating Loki, who has unleashed snow monsters on the entire New York City, and you must stop these monsters and defeat Loki once and for all. Although there is some moments of story with cutscenes, they're not really something deep enough to really consider the story something essential in the game. However, it still has some really fun cutscenes and dialogue that makes things a little more entertaining. Sadly, sometimes these cutscenes take too long to appear. There's a lot of time where you can spend running around the city without any story going on, just defeating bad guys, which is essentially what you will be doing the entire game, defeating a lot of waves of enemies over and over again. Mostly the same enemies, however, which isn't exactly exciting, but each character has their own superpowers that really makes every fight more interesting if you go switching between each Avenger. Of course, this also means that for you to get more fun, you need to buy Captain America, Hawkeye, and Hulk. So it makes the waves of enemies more exciting and with more variety. Otherwise, playing with the same character is just gonna be a little boring after a while. However, they still added new features like the skill tree, which basically levels up your character with different new powers, making them more and more powerful. You choose what new abilities your character will have. This makes the experience of fighting so many enemies a bit more exciting and more interesting, as you really want to level him up. But aside from the playsets, there isn't much to do in this city, besides just exploring and collecting stuff. The city itself is not really that exciting, to be honest. It's a bit empty. Sure, there are cars moving and there's people walking by, but it doesn't feel full of life and color, like for example the Lego Marvel game. There is some extra missions, like the one shown here where you have to pop all balloons in a specific time limit, but they're just simple minigames that don't really provide much to the experience. There really isn't a huge amount of minigames inside the city, which is a shame because it's a really huge city, but there's barely any side quests or anything to do, besides a few missions that usually involve destroying enemies or destroy this, destroy that, and so on and so on. The real magic of the game, however, is the toy box. The toy box has been upgraded with new tools, like the ability to create a level instantly. The level creates a simple basic level for you. For example, if you want to create a racetrack, the game immediately creates a racetrack for you, and you just simply add the decorations and objects that you want to add. It's still a bit tricky to get used to the controls of creating a toy box, but once you learn how to use them, you really feel satisfied with the many things that you can create. Here you're seeing a simple racetrack, but after I add some color and more stuff, here's how it looks like now. Now it looks more exciting, with a team which is Wreck 12, and more objects and decorations and stuff that makes it feel more professional. In a lot of ways, you actually end up doing things that are a bit more exciting than the playset itself. Here, for example, I created a platforming level in the style of Mario and Sonic games. In this case, I made it a level for Elsa. Speaking of Elsa, all Disney Infinity 1.0 characters, figures, you can use them, all of them, in this toy box of 2.0, but you cannot use them in the playsets. Only the toy box of 2.0. You can also use your disc and all those extra content that you have. You can play, however, the 1.0 playsets. So if you really missed the first game but you want to try out some of the playsets like Monsters Inc. or Toy Story, you need to buy the first game instead. If you already own the first game and you just want to upgrade to 2.0, then you can download the 2.0 toy box for $30. But that's only the toy box. It does not include a playset or anything, just the upgraded toy box. Unfortunately, the playset of Avengers separately costs around $40. So in total, if you are buying things separately, you would be paying around $70, which is essentially the same thing as buying the starter pack as a whole. Unless you really don't care about the Avengers playset, then you can simply skip it, and it's actually a good bargain. There's also a sense of community in the game. This time around you can check out all the toy boxes that everyone is uploading, no matter if they won a contest or not. This gives you an opportunity to explore a lot of toy boxes, any of them as you wish. Unfortunately, if you're playing in the incorrect version of that toy box, there might be glitches and errors. To be more specific, if you created a toy box using PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you might get errors if you're playing that toy box in the Xbox 360 version. In essence, if you really want the best experience from this game, you need to buy it on the next gen console like Xbox One or PlayStation 4 and possibly Wii U. But Xbox 360 version has problems with the toy box online, and it has been reported on the PS3 version as well. The Wii U version has problems sometimes it doesn't. Still, it's definitely a really fun experience. Unfortunately, for you to have the best experience of this game, you're gonna have to pay a little more. You're gonna have to pay for the Guardians of the Galaxy playset, which is actually really fun, or the Spider-Man playset, which is also nice fun adventure. In any case, it's a fun good game, and if you never experienced the first game, then you definitely need to check out this second game. However, I still feel the game needs more upgrades for a future version, as it still feels like the first game but with a few upgrades, but not enough to truly convince you that the game has changed. We give Disney Infinity 2.0 for the Xbox 360 Marvel Starter Pack a 7 out of 10. But if you buy all the playsets and most of the figures, the game is an 8 out of 10.